This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good morning, Mac. How are you doing? Or good evening. I should say good evening.
Good evening, Tim. Good evening, Tim. Glad to be here. I guess Byron's going to be in a minute or so.
Yeah, but he'll be in a little bit. He is at his grandson's baseball game.
Okay.
His daughter's out of town, and I'm sure he's watching his grandchildren, so he's at the game.
All right.
But
all right.
I think we can handle it without Byron, you know.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
He slows down the show a little bit.
Yes, he does, Jim.
Yeah. A lot of news in there. First of all, obviously we know that the games tonight, the Lakers are playing, the Lakers against Memphis. And right now, I think it was Memphis was up. They're out without Ja Morant. He injured his hand in the previous game, and he's not playing this evening. Then you got Giannis is out.
Yeah.
Giannis is out. So there's quite a few games that are not out. The Lakers game right now is 24-19. Memphis is winning. So
okay. Well, as you know, Jim, they did win some games without Morant. They weren't, of course, they're not as good as when he's on the floor with them, but they do have a good all around team. And John Morant, his hand is so messed up that he won't be able to play with him right now.
Yeah.
And it's on a shooting hand. So I think Memphis still has a good team even without him. And who knows with the Lakers, they may come back on him. But I think Memphis has a good shot at beating them.
Yeah, right now Memphis is up 30-19, but you got to remember Memphis had the youngest defensive player of the year ever in Jaren Jackson. Yeah. I stole both of his names. My oldest is named Jaren, and my youngest is named Jackson. So
all right.
his dad played at Georgetown in the NBA, but he's up. And then the games after that, they got a couple of games that will be the night after that. That'll be good games. Like I said, Milwaukee against Miami will be a good game.
Right.
Miami could go up 2-0 without, because Giannis won't play this. But Giannis has been struggling with injuries all year. And then you got Denver against Minnesota.
Right.
So everybody was picking Minnesota to upset them. I like Minnesota. I like Denver better than I like Minnesota. So that's going to be interesting. But some good news. Go ahead.
Good. I was just going to say, when it comes to with Denver, I mean, Denver was in first place all year. A lot of them, think that maybe they were a pretender, but they're a good team. And, I don't know how they'll hold up tonight, but I think they'll come away with the win.
Okay. Well, Denver was actually in second place in the West, because Sacramento was the Sacramento Kings, who are beating the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And the Golden State, which is interesting, and I want to get your feelings on it, is Draymond Green is suspended for next game, which I understand he did step on it, and it was a brutal act, stepping on Sabonis's chest. And but Sabonis, they had grabbed his legs twice, and that's still no reason. But I think it's double jeopardy, because he gets kicked out of the game and then he gets suspended for the next game. So I don't know, but with Draymond Green's history, that's why they did it. So what is your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't know. Draymond has has a huge problem with his temper, right? I mean, from what he did, Sabonis did grab him, but why
Yeah.
retaliate? Why retaliate? Why you
That's
don't
true.
have to? You don't have to. Yeah, and
I agree.
why stand up in front of the fans and make a big deal out of it?
I think that's what got him because
Yeah.
the commissioner was watching the game.
Right. And so, I mean, he's like you said, he has had a history of that. I think he's been thrown out 6 times this year.
Yes.
And, you want to finish as a Golden State Warrior, but you want to act that way.
I agree.
And then you got players like, like Seth Curry. You got players like Klay Thomas who go out there and they share the ball and they play good basketball. And, they need Draymond Green to do his job, which is play defense. And that doesn't mean intimidating people. That means playing good, solid defense.
Yeah, and I think his basketball skills are deteriorating, and that's the thing.
I think so too.
Good evening, Byron.
There he is.
We having a good discussion, so if you need to do something, you can go back.
I do it, man. Just have all kind of stuff on your plate. Don't you know it's at the last minute?
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Byron, it's good to see you. I'm gonna check out, let you guys do your thing, and I'll talk to you later.
Man, you clean shaven, man. You
Yeah,
he is. I didn't know he was so young.
Yes,
I didn't know who he was.
He looked like he was. I just started talking. I didn't really,
Yeah, and my wife's happy. That's all that matters. You know what I mean?
That's all that matters.
A happy wife.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
All right, guys. Have a good show. Have some fun. All right.
All right. We were talking about the basketball games that are going on right now. The Lakers are down 30-19 to Memphis. Ja Morant is out of the game.
Yeah.
He's out. So he's going to be out with a hand injury.
Right.
And we were talking about, and Mac was saying that basically that Memphis could win without Ja because they've done it during the year.
Well, I mean, you play good team ball when something like that, when your superstar get hurt like that, and that might help them out for us getting the other guys more inserted into the game plan. And they got a good overall bench. It pretty good players on that team.
Yeah, and they got the defensive player of the year, the youngest one ever, Jaren Jackson.
Right.
So, and I stole both of his names. His dad, my oldest is named Jaren, and my youngest son is named Jackson. His dad used to play at Georgetown. I was a big fan of his. So.
Oh, okay. That's definitely a connection then.
Yeah, but it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's over yet. The Lakers are down 33-21, I think it is now. So it'll be interesting to see if the Lakers can sustain that. But
the good thing about the basketball playoff game seems like the team that you expect that to lose the first game won the first game.
That's true.
In a lot of cases, so it's gonna be an interesting basketball playoff run.
Yeah, the next 2 games are the ones that's going to be interesting because you got Milwaukee and Miami, and nobody expected Miami to compete with Milwaukee, but Giannis is out.
Yeah.
Back injury.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler's doing Jimmy Butler things.
It seems like Jimmy Butler wake up every year in playoffs. See, like when he does. Just get him to the playoffs and he do the rest.
Yeah, he's an interesting story because if you know his background, his mom kicked him out when he was in high school. He stayed with a friend,
right?
And he became but he has a good relationship with his mom, which is kind of unusual. And he's bounced around a little bit in college, and he played with what's his name? He's with Milwaukee now, and they played college together at Marquette.
Right.
I don't remember his name, but he's an interesting. He plays hard. He said he's really intense. And then the last game of the night is Denver versus Minnesota. everybody thought this was going to be the upset game, but Denver came out and played really well. Good evening, Craig. How are you?
What's up, Craig?
So that'll be interesting to see how these two games turn out. Obviously, Milwaukee against Miami, but Miami's lost Hero too.
Yeah, that's right. Hero, yeah, he was what is it, finger or something?
Yeah.
Something happened. I saw where he was hurting on that.
Yeah, he broke his hand.
Broke his hand. That's right. Yeah,
so he's out for this series. He won't be back unless they make the finals.
The Hero he's a player, so he can shoot.
Yeah, he can shoot and play. You're right. It's going to be interesting because I don't know who's going to pick up the slack because Giannis was, a rare player. And then Denver really got after Minnesota. I thought Minnesota may have a chance to compete, but Denver showed them they didn't.
Yeah, Denver is waking up at the right time. I think too, any and everything can happen in the playoffs, Ron.
Yeah. And then
they were talking about next man up on a lot of cases. Seem like now these
teams you see that. Yeah. And then the big story, obviously, in the playoffs is the Draymond Green situation. And I want to hear your take on it first.
Well, Joe Dumars, he's one of the guys who ruled on some of the things that happened with the penalties, and so he made a decision on it. I think too, he played real physical basketball. I mean, I can see what happened the first game. The referees looked over what happened with the guy holding his leg, but Draymond, man, he know that he's a target, and every year, he get called for a lot of flagrant fouls and a lot of fines he had to pay in fines. So I'm thinking that those referees know these players, and I think one of the things that's happening is he have to be there for his team. Sometimes you got to play smart. Don't fall into the traps because sometimes I throw that in the heat of the battle and the competition. The players gonna test you, and you talking trash talk all the time anyway on the court or in competition and games. So I'm thinking that's what happened.
Yeah. Now my opinion on it is that he got double jeopardy. Obviously, he got kicked out of the game. We know, and he should have rightfully got kicked out of the game. But what got him, and the reason he got the suspension is what he did with the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
And David Stern was watching that game when the commissioner's watching, because it's interesting. Anybody doling out penalties, Joe Jamar, bad boys, come on. They try to kill you.
Well, basketball is, and football, I think sports is all about the fans anyway. So when you carry on a little bit more than you need to, I think that did bring a little bit more attention so that we got to penalize them for something because we got to, usually they just fine you some money, but when you have to sit out the game, that really takes another level of penalty,
Yeah, and I agree with you because I was watching last night. I was watching the Knicks against Cleveland, and that looked like a football game. I mean, that was physical.
Well, one thing about the NBA playoffs, it is physical. The referees let them play.
Yeah, they do.
There's a reason why they let them play. It's just, it's the toughness of the fitness of the competition.
Yeah.
But you see it more in playoffs that they let the guys play. Even in the this year, they let the women play even tougher in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it was something. But then also we got some big news in football. Obviously, Jalen Hurts. Listen to this contract. He got signed a 5-year, $255 million contract.
All right, 51. Was it 51 million per year?
Yeah, but he also signed 294 signing bonus, 23,294. Then he is guaranteed 179,300,000. And then he has an average salary of, like you said, $51 million. And
Well, I think by him going to the Super Bowl, by him being one of the finalists in the MVP run this year, I think the Eagles saw fit to go ahead and award him and see fit that they can sell that position down. Now they just got to make sure that they can get back to that Super Bowl. I
Yeah.
think that's so important for teams to do that. I think when you do that, they ease a lot of tension between your team. Everybody know who's the leader. Everybody kind of knows, the direction that they need to go, and then they had a taste of in the Super Bowl. So I'm thinking that's good. I think that's real. That speaks volume for the general manager and the ownership of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's interesting is he'll earn a base salary of $4,204,000, a workout bonus of $100,000, and only carry a cap hit of $4,789,486. I don't know how they work those numbers.
Well, I think they gave him a lot of money up front, and which it won't count against the salary cap against the team, so they can always add more players. So I think that's how they work the deal out.
Yeah, because it looks good.
Yeah, but women's negotiated his contract too.
Yeah, Nicole Lynn, you got to give congratulations. She went to school at Oklahoma.
Right, she did. Yeah, and her husband is on the University of Colorado staff. With Deion Sanders.
Is he?
Yeah, he's with the player personnel director department of the University of Colorado.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they're in their 30s. I think they're 34, somewhere up in there. Some young. I
never knew that.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. If any guy that deserves it, and he won't be the highest paid for long because you got obviously quarterback Herbert from San Diego and the quarterback from Cincinnati.
Burrows.
So those two will definitely get more money some way, somehow.
But it just goes to show you that the quarterback position in the NFL is a good place to play.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of things going on in the NFL. Right now, they're talking about Mixon, and they're talking about maybe making him take a pay cut. So that's interesting within itself. How do you tell your starting running back and they lost their other runner, P. Ryan, went to Buffalo.
Oh, P. Ryan went to Buffalo? Man, that's good for Buffalo. P. Ryan can play. P. Ryan. Yeah. Both of those guys were from Oklahoma. But Nixon, that's what we know. We've been talking about this week in and week out about the running back position in the National Football League. It seems like a lot of teams is going to devaluing those positions to where, if you 28 and under, then you have a good chance to make some good money. But once you hit that 30 mark, it seems like they devalue the running back position.
Well, the way I look at it is what's happening is the second contract for running backs because of the short to their longevity in the NFL. So what they're doing is it's happened to Zeke Elliott.
Right.
A lot of them struggle getting to the second, unless you're a Hall of Famer. But other than that, they struggle finishing up that or making it reasonable for that second contract. Because Saquon Barkley, if he was born 20 years ago, he would have there wouldn't even be any argument about it. But now, then, just like you said, in this atmosphere that we're in, they do devalue the running backs, and there's some really good ones. There's just like B. John Robinson talking about possibly not being a first rounder. How can you have first round talent at the running back position and not being? But they're afraid the longevity of his career.
Yeah, and just look at Zeke Elliott. He made his second contract. He got some good money. And this past year, he ran into the problem where he got hurt with his knee, and came to the fact that he was expendable. I mean, the Cowboys, let him go because they had another good running back on the team. But yeah, at the end of the day, you got to have 2 to 3 good running backs on your roster.
Yeah. And then also, a lot of things that Tuiola admitted that he was considering retiring.
Yeah, two.
Because of the concussions that he had.
Well, I think he's seen a series of doctors and probably they gave him some advice. And ain't too many more of those hits and collisions with the turf. It's a lot of factors in that.
And they got a new helmet out that's been approved by the Players Association and the NFL.
Yeah, they do. It's supposed to be well tested, and it's one of the ones that they're gonna probably do like they did the Guardians cap with the lineman last year. It's something to see if that be something that's more valuable, because some of these, the concussion is still a serious problem in the National Football League.
Yeah, and then last week we discussed Anthony Richardson last year, and they had a graph of all the things that he has done in college.
Yeah,
and it was interesting. He wasn't very accurate, and he couldn't even on the move. He wasn't very accurate. And we talk about his physical abilities, but when you look at his percentage of completions and his accuracy on deep passes, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I thought, like I told you, I've been looking at him up close. I know they a lot of these teams are scheduling the top 30 players to come in and get close evaluation at their facilities as well. And but I just think this guy got so much upsides in the next year or two to learn the game. I think he's saying the right thing, and I just think that he gonna be, if people can have some little bit of patience with him, a good team. I think he can be one that I would like to have on my team. In my opinion.
Here's the thing: is you say that. To the next thing is that the Vikings and the 49ers were talking about Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49ers were fielding trade calls for Trey Lance. He's another player who didn't have a lot of college experience.
Yeah.
And you see what happens. And
right.
You see him be patient. And Jordan Love, he's going to get his opportunity this year. But how much patience can you have? Because these guys are going to go high in the first round, and they're not going to make an immediate impact.
Well,
the first pick.
Wilson and Mac Jones. I mean, you can just continue to name quarterbacks that came out the last 3 to 4 years out of college. Some of these guys just ain't ready. I mean, in the NFL, it's just a whole different game.
Yeah.
And you have all kind of upsides and what you think and what you predict. But I still say you got to let these guys kind of sit on that bench or either, see what they can do in preseason, keep evaluating them in the practice and just throw them in the heat of the moment at times when your game is under control.
Yeah. Well, for me, I look at it as when my first year, I had 2.5 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a number 1 pick, 23rd pick in the draft. But the next year I had 11.5.
But what was the difference in your mindset, though, your first year versus your second year?
The difference is I knew that I could play at this level after being in the NFL. And
So let me just give you this one word. It's confidence. It's confidence. Yeah. You are more confident knowing that you are really here to make a difference. You without a doubt. And plus, by you being a first round draft choice, you had the confidence in the mindset. So now I see I belong.
Yeah, and I was in an unusual situation. Harvey Martin was the starter.
Right.
The great Harvey Martin was Super Bowl co-MVP.
Right.
And he abruptly retired. He called me up and said, it's yours now. I'm like, what? Because it usually takes you a couple of years, obviously. And I was thrown into the fire, either sink or swim.
And I think that's what a lot of young players need to have somebody like that. Or either need to get somebody older, need to get in that year real quickly, because that makes a difference between being there for 2 years, 3 years versus
That's
16
true.
like you did. I think you was fortunate to have some good players around you that saw
Yes, I agree.
and then they saw that once you can season and that the tricks of the trade, because you had all those different.
Oh yeah,
things,
yeah. It's just like when you talk about the Giants, because obviously Leonard Marshall coming in, and you have George Martin on the other side. You had Gary Jeter there too at that time, didn't you?
No, yeah, he had just left the year before, but it had Martin. It had Martin and we got Burt's and
Jim
Burt's and we had some a guy named Jerome Sally.
Yeah.
D Hardman D.
Yeah.
D and we had some. They had some good linemen. I mean, we had some stars, and we had one of the best coaches. We call him Lamar. He talks so funny, but he had those guys on fire each and every day.
Wasn't Romeo Cromwell there?
Romeo Cromwell was there. He was our special team. He was our special team coordinator as well. But then he later got to be coordinator as well. They moved some coaches around.
Yeah. But and some people do take time, but you can't take too much time because people are gonna wonder, can you play? That's just the reality of it.
Well, I always say you have 24 months.
Yeah, that's about it.
You have 24 months. Unless you're a first round draft choice, they'll give you 30. They'll give you 36 months.
36 months. Oh shoot! But other things is C.J. Stroud. There's quite a question marks about him because of attitude, which is interesting. And maybe it's a lot of times they play games around the draft.
But sometimes you have your family involved. You're hearing it from the family side. You hear it from your agent side, and then you're hearing it. Just hearing this noise, right? Mm-hmm. So it just depends on who you're around, and I think it's very important that you get around the right people that to keep you focused on what you need to do and how you need to manage your time and your availability, as well as saying the right thing. I mean, these guys, a lot of interviews. We were talking about Hendon Hooker, the quarterback.
Hooker, yes.
Yeah, the quarterback of Tennessee. Yeah, I know he's scheduled to go to the Giants. Giants don't really need a quarterback, but these guys, the top 30 players, are going around to a lot of these teams. And
because C.J. Stroud's going to the Falcons.
Yeah. So 8 days, we're going to have the draft chart. We're going to have the NFL draft.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Are you going?
I would not be able to go. I'm going to the Super Bowl of golf next week.
Oh, really? Where at?
San Antonio.
San Antonio? Wow, they let anybody in there now.
Well, they heard
the big timers they didn't let in there. They was getting afraid.
Let me tell you,
getting too good.
Jim Jeffcoat tournament, and so they said we got to have Byron to come down.
You did win it. I can't argue. I took third place in the tournament last week.
You did?
Yeah, I took third place in the Cowboys Sweet Holders tournament.
Oh, I was gonna tell you, you did give me a trophy. And just guess what?
What?
I think somebody threw it in the trash.
Oh man, you kidding?
I don't accept anything second or third that goes in the trash. It's
you were first. You won it.
Huh?
You won it.
I know, but I got third place in that radio tournament or something. It was You didn't you give me a trophy from somewhere?
Oh yeah, somebody else. I thought that was the first. I didn't look at it.
Yeah, that was the third place trophy.
Oh yeah, I probably would have threw it away too.
Yeah, I don't
remember who took third place.
We're going crappie fishing this year.
They haven't got in touch with me. They had the tournament. I don't know what happened. I guess we were too good last year. I still got the trophy. That was a first place trophy.
It was a good event though. I had to
It was. I'd like to do that again. That was
a
fun.
lot of people down there. A lot of people.
Yeah, it was. And they did it again. I don't know what we did. I thought I had fun with it. But
yeah, it was good. It was really good.
But yeah. I wanted to ask you a question. What do you think the Giants are going to take in the first round?
I'm thinking they're going to either take a cornerback or a wide receiver.
And that's what Max said too. He thought the wide receiver position. He didn't say anything. But why would you say they got Darnay Holmes, right?
Yeah. And I if I were them, I'd be trying to get DeAndre Hopkins, because I think he would bring instant gratification.
Do you think he'd be like make the impact that AJ Brown made on the Eagles?
I think somewhat. I think it'll be very challenging. I think it will just open up the offense. I'm talking about having one player that can open up offense, and he will be that player because this guy does not drop a ball. He runs for
big,
and he's tough. He's tough, physical minded.
Yeah, but you always got to check him, because he did have that issue.
He has some. But I think some of these teams need to have a couple of veteran players, some older guys just walk through that locker room every now and then, and just have a conversation with the young players.
Yeah,
it was so interesting that I went to the NFLPA convention about 5 weeks ago, and I think these guys. One of the things I asked these young players, they said, "Well, we don't know how to have a conversation with an older guy," and I thought it was interesting because I think it's all you got to do, just open up and just start talking and just have a conversation with them.
Yeah, it was interesting that you say that because when I first walked in the Cowboys locker room, obviously they had Ron Springs, Tony Dorsett, Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, Harvey Martin, and then you had and then Everson Walls was there, and Dennis Steedman, and guys like that. And it was interesting. You had to get voted. They had this place called Get a Row. And you had to get voted on there. And I was the first rookie to ever get voted on Get a Row.
That's important for you. That says a lot for you.
I didn't say anything. I just kept quiet and worked. But they
you showed your ability versus had the conversation. Some guys come in and talk to him. Elvis Patterson, he came in the Giants rookie. He talks so much.
Oh my goodness, does he?
Next thing, we were toasting him in practice. That's how he got the name Toast.
I know.
Toast him in the game.
And he will tell you the reason he got the name Toast. He was the toast of the town.
Yeah, put him on the special team. He came all-pro player. That's what happened.
Yeah, he did. He was the highest paid special teams player at that time in the NFL.
You know what though? I'm gonna get him on this show. He called me 2 weeks ago and said he wanted me to talk about something. And so I'm gonna get he live in Kansas City now.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Yeah, so I'll go see if I can get him on the show.
Oh my goodness. That we won't have a word edgewise. He'll be talking.
I'm gonna text
him. Can talk now.
Oh,
Houston Yates. He's from
Houston. And he's up in Kansas City right now.
Yeah. Well, good for him. He's a good guy.
Parcell used to love to talk about the toes. He said, "Damn, Elvis, you get burnt more than anybody I know."
Oh my goodness.
We had some fun with the toast, I'll tell you that.
Well, good. But what direction, who do you think the teams right now that are going to make a move? Do you think it's teams like Miami or the Jets? Or the Jets are interesting because
I think the Jets probably going to make a move. When you just mentioned Miami, the one thing about Miami, they had some good free agent signing this offseason. Only thing they're gonna be questioning is Tua, the quarterback right now. I guess they gonna wait to see what the doctors say or what they gonna see about him. But for as the depth of their roster, the Miami gonna be pretty tough to beat this year. But I think the Jets is gonna be an interesting team as well.
Depending on what Aaron really with
Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers. And they played, the East plays the East this year. The AFC East plays the NFC East.
And I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna go. He definitely gonna sign with the Jets. I don't know. It just maybe taking a little bit long, but it's one of those things to where I think the Jets and Green Bay both have a plan in mind. So it just a matter of time. I think maybe by this time next week he'll be in the news a lot more.
Yeah, but the problem is how long is he going to play? He's 39 years old. And how long does he want to play? You're not going to give up a first rounder unless it's conditional.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it won't be this year.
Yeah. Another thing gonna be question mark for the Jets is he probably won't even participate in OTAs.
Not right now. He can't.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then Lamar Jackson, that's an interesting case because just like they offered him more guaranteed money than they offered Jalen Hurts. And he has been, two-time MVP.
Yeah, he probably just sitting and is just waiting. Maybe he just making them sweat a little bit. But I think since they signed Odell Beckham, I think he's gonna definitely sign back with the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm. But the thing I asked about that is Odell Beckham is 30 years old or 31?
No, he's 32, I think, 32, 33, 32.
My question is he's had 2 ACL surgeries. Can he recover? You saw what happened with Michael Gallup. And I know ODB did Odell OBJ. I know he did not play last year.
Right. And I think that's going to be the difference.
You think so?
I think that's just
2 ACLs on the same leg. Can he sustain the rigorous NFL?
The only factor that I think going to help him is he sat out the whole season. He didn't try to come back and play. Or didn't nobody sign him. So I think this is going to be the true test of see how strong his knee recovered. And I think that's going to be the difference between him and Gallup.
Interesting. Because I think that's tough. And it's interesting with Lamar Jackson, receivers don't want to play with him. Did you notice that?
I noticed that. I know if I was a receiver, I would love to play with him because we can have some fun out there on the football field.
But this is interesting because there's a lot of similarities on what Lamar Jackson is going through and what Randall Cunningham went through. Although Randall Cunningham did have a Hall of Fame receiver in Chris Carter.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he had Jimmy Smith, who was originally drafted by us, and he had 2 broken legs, and he went to Philly and made a career for himself, and then obviously with Jacksonville, he made an even bigger career for himself.
Yeah. It's interesting to see what's going to happen in the next week or two before the draft and after the draft. I think some teams going to probably make some incredible moves, and some of these rosters going to be more solidified on which direction they decide to go.
It's going to be interesting to see how the draft comes out because now we're saying they're devaluing they're devaluing running backs. Even receivers are going lower. So who do you draft? Are you drafting offensive and defensive linemen? Are you drafting quarterbacks? You got to draft somebody. It's
about 300, 350 guys that get drafted, and another 100 going to sign free agent.
That's right.
But you definitely need to draft some key players.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's be interesting. Even in the top 10, you got a guy like Jalen Carter from Georgia who had the issue with the car racing.
Yeah.
And he said that he's probably the best player in the draft.
But I think he's the best player, but he done dropped down to about 4th or 5th player.
Yeah, and I agree.
One of the best players is going to be drafted. I was just joking. I had to put that Thibodeau in there because
I know.
Jack was saying, y'all think Thibodeau all that? I said, Thibodeau had a good season.
He did for a rookie. But Jalen Carter, they said, is the most gifted but the off field, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of Georgia players have those issues.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hate to just pick one school, but
Right.
so and then even their quarterback. Remember, he got arrested
Man,
here.
he got to about you where you live in Dallas over there.
No,
I don't know why y'all be partying so much.
I'm right down the street from you.
Yeah, he was over there in Dallas, got arrested.
Stetson Bennett, yeah.
Yeah, and so that kind of put a damp on him a little bit. I think, but I think he's gonna be a good player though. I think he's
not very tall.
No, he's not very tall.
I think he's around Bryce Young's size, but he did win a national championship.
He won the national championship, and he played an excellent game. He had an excellent year last year. What did he finish the Heisman?
Huh?
Did he finish third in the Heisman?
I think he did. Did Dugan finish third or fourth?
Third, but he might have finished fourth. But he was a finalist, one of the finalists. So that speaks volume. Yeah, it
does speak values, but I don't think he'll be an early round pick. I think he'll be a late round pick.
But you know what? I think he's good than a lot of quarterbacks that's on these rosters in the NFL.
Yeah, I would agree. So we'll see what happens to him. And then you got still, like I said earlier in the show, the B. John Robinson. Where do you take him at?
Man,
if the Cowboys are sitting there, they'd be dumb not to take him.
Yeah, first round draft choice, man. He by far he's gonna be he's a talented young man. I'm telling you, he can play.
Yeah, and there's a tight end from Notre Dame named Michael Mayers.
Good.
He's
good. They got some good tight ends in this draft coming.
They really do.
Top 5 tight ends that's in this draft.
Yeah, they really do, but they won't go to late. I would think the Cowboys have got to take a serious look at them. Here's another thing that's going on. I've been reading these draft reports, and now they're saying that the defensive end, he had an injury. He was from Texas Tech, might go before the defensive lineman.
Tyrell?
Yeah, will go before Will Anderson. People like him better.
Yeah, they got him going in the top 8, I think. Top 8 players.
Yeah.
He's one of the surprise they saying that that's in the draft.
Yeah, he is. And he's got length, he can run. He's about 6'6", he can run. And he's probably more of a old traditional defensive lineman as opposed to Anderson. Anderson is a stand-up, run around guy. As opposed, Anderson is similar to Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So
that's absolutely true.
Oh my goodness! Who
was that?
That's that guy, Jason, the Minnesota Vikings fan.
Jason, I ain't seen you in I don't know when. What's going on?
Jason been running. He's been running. Jason is getting married to a lovely young lady, and he's so into that he forgot about his guys. He just forgot about his friends. He did call me on a Friday and asked me could I go to Top Golf on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday morning.
Top Golf.
Yeah, and the week before he wanted me to go out to Fort Worth, Argyle, to not Granbury, to play in Pecan Plantation. He wanted me to play golf with him. We'll get together, Jason.
Not that before.
Yeah. Jason, who's going to be your running back in Minnesota? Y'all getting rid of Dalvin Cook.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of Dalvin Cook. He's still got some mileage on.
Cook, bad boy. I tell you what, doing to beat Minnesota Vikings, not going to the Super Bowl, I'll tell you that. By the way, Jason, I went to Jim Jeffcoat golf tournament, and you said you were gonna come over there, and
he did.
On the golf, buddy.
He did, but see, there he goes. We need to hit the course, but we gave him the opportunity, and he didn't show up.
Well, congratulations.
He's kind of like, you know what he was afraid of?
What?
He was afraid that the golf tournament would have went too far, and he's like Kirk Cousins. Once the lights come on, he disappears.
I call that choking. I call that modern day choking.
Look at them, running backs are a dime a dozen. Oh my goodness. It's good to see you, Jason.
A week ago, we heard that Kirk Cousins might get traded, though.
Yeah, to San Francisco.
49ers.
Maybe that's what they were talking about. Cousins for Trey Lance.
Then the Vikings might do something.
Yeah, they might have a chance.
Jason, man, you know a lot about football, so
he does know a lot about football. He knows a lot about Vikings football.
Yeah, he had to be purple and gold or something, purple and yellow.
And Jason wasn't here. I told him about. I told Byron they had during the Super Bowl era, the teams that had the best percentage of winning, and the Minnesota Vikings were number 3. Can you believe that, Jason? But never won a Super Bowl. The other top 5 won Super Bowl. Sorry, Jason.
They did go to a lot of Super Bowl games.
Yeah, they did. And they had some great players. Paul Krause.
All those guys, Marshall. Yeah.
Alan Page, guys like that. Fran Tarkenton, Chuck Foreman.
Fran Tarkenton was the original New York Giant player.
Yes, he was. So there was some talented ones.
People that's really great football players, they have some ties with the Giants. Like you,
no, they don't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like Fran Tarkenton, he was a Giant player. Tom Lanier was with the Giants. Vince Lombardi was with the Giants. And then Jim Jeffcoat grew up wanting to be a Giant.
I didn't want to be a Giant. Just because you wanted to be a Cowboy, I didn't want to be a Giant. I wanted to win championships. I wanted to win.
It's just something about that Giant water.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just something about being in East Rutherford.
Oh, my goodness.
Something about being in – used to be now it's MetLife. So
you smell those oil refineries and those tankers coming in the E-Port out there in Elizabeth. You remember, I grew up, I used to go to – grandmother lived in the project, so I know all about that.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that whole area.
And, Mac is writing a book.
Yes, he is. I told him it'd be tough for me because I'm not a big Parcells fan. I work for Parcells, and I didn't enjoy my time working for him.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, I talked to Mo Carthon this week. His son, Rand Carthon, is the general manager for the Tennessee Titans. And I talked, Mo's doing well.
How's Mo live in Arkansas?
Yes. He lives where he went to school, Arkansas State.
Jonesboro? Yeah.
Jonesboro. He lives in Jonesboro. He's doing really well. And he's taking care of himself.
I almost beat Arkansas State by myself one night. 1 minute left to go. My ankle got caught in the turf. I had a hairline fractured ankle. Man, I was crying all night because the draft. That was my senior year. Arkansas.
They were your you guys used to play when you were at UT Arlington.
They was in the same conference.
Oh, okay.
Same conference. Arkansas State, Louisiana Tech, Southeast, Lamar University, and all those Louisiana schools, Northeast Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, all those schools over there.
Oh, yeah, all the directional schools in Louisiana.
I remember we used to play Louisiana Tech. We played them at 7:30 at night in Grambling and have their game at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. We would go down and watch Grambling during the day for a quarter or two, and then we'd go back and get ready for the Louisiana Tech game.
In the bushes. Louisiana Tech, it's down in there, and it's in bushes. There's all these bushes around. It's kind of like Alcorn State.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. But tell a little about what happened today with your grandsons. They were your son was playing.
My daughter she had to go to Chicago this week, so I'm up in Frisco, 2 miles from the Star, where the Cowboys hosted.
Where greatness is, but go ahead.
But my grandsons, she got them participating in everything, from hockey to soccer to baseball. So both of my grandsons had baseball games, so my son-in-law had to take the oldest one over to the baseball game. I had to take the young one to the baseball game. So, I'm happy to do the pawpaw duties tonight.
Yeah, but they're hitting grand slams and stuff. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna put them on the Facebook, but I don't want them to get too big heads right now. I got to get.
It's too late. It's too late. Their grandpa got a big head, so how they not gonna have a big head?
Got to do more training.
Oh man! Speaking of that, the Yankees are winning 2-1, and the Rangers won today. The Texas Rangers won 12-3.
I think they got the second best record in Major League with the Rangers.
Texas Rangers?
Yeah,
they're up there.
Yeah, they what 12-5 or something like that.
No, they're 12-6.
12-6.
Yeah, they're 12-6. The Rangers are 12-6, and the Yankees are struggling a little bit right now. They're in third. They're actually tied. If they win today, they'll be tied for second place in the East.
But you know the Yankees don't really play baseball until after the All-Star game.
Well, last year they did, and they played really well at the beginning.
Yeah.
So the Yankees did play, but I take teams that are. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, I was just listening to the Rangers manager. I think it's all about those managers and the coaches, man. He's very impressive.
Yeah, he is.
Coach.
He is. Yeah.
Him and Dusty Baker, they are two guys that's in Major League that done won over 1,000-some games, and that's big volume for them.
Yeah. But this, then the Yankees are playing one of the maybe turned out to be one of the greatest players that ever played, and that's Ohtani.
Yeah.
Ohtani's a pitcher, but he can really hit.
Yeah, they were saying that he might be the first baseball player to get that $600 million contract.
Yeah, he's something to watch.
Ohtani, man, that's speaking, man. That's a unique talent there.
Yeah, and you were talking about the Rangers. They have the third best record in Major League Baseball. Number one is Tampa Bay, because you remember they got off to the great start. Number two is the Atlanta Braves by one game. Well, they're tied they're really fourth because Milwaukee and Atlanta are tied with only 5 losses.
Okay.
The Milwaukee Brewers. So that's anyway. I like watching baseball.
Right now, baseball is good in Arlington right now. That's why I live in Arlington, and just the fans are wearing Texas Rangers. So you go to the stores, you see all this. You see like Cowboy stuff, but now you see a lot of Rangers.
Because of the season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you win, people are gonna wear their stuff.
Yes, that's right. That is, and it's a beautiful stadium.
Oh, gorgeous stadium.
Ranger Stadium. I'm going to me and my friend Tony Tober. We're both from New Jersey. We're going to the Yankees, and then I'm going to see them out in L.A. against the L.A. Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my grandson to a Ranger game, as well as I get a group of kids coming from my hometown. We'll take them to the Rangers game. I got a connection with a suite, so we'll definitely go.
Your friend, that one I talked to?
No, this is with the track company I used to work with.
Okay.
They put that turf in out there.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah, but the good thing about what the Rangers did was interesting. When they built that stadium, they got the roof. So when the hot days of summer, they used to struggle. But now they can cool it down so the players don't have to play in 100-something degree temperatures.
Yeah, it's a retractable roof.
Yeah.
They want to.
Yeah. Hey, here's something that's a little bit off subject, and we got a little bit of time, is the XFL.
Okay.
I watched my first game last week, and it was the Washington Defenders against the Arlington Renegades. There's my man. But
I told him he need to practice more. I don't talk.
But obviously, Dallas. I mean, the Defenders are the best team.
Yeah, Defenders.
XFL.
They playing good.
Yeah, and then the next team is the Houston team.
Houston team.
And
Yeah, great Gerard is.
yeah. Both of them came. They running things. You just paw. But I thought that was interesting.
Hey, Papa, get that bet out. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, then I watched the USFL.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I thought the USFL had more talent than the XFL.
The USFL look a little bit just a slight. Yeah, they I like their rules. They still original football rules.
Yeah,
and the players seem like they're a little bit more mature minded.
That's what it did. I agree.
XFL might be AA, and I'm just saying what I think.
I agree with you 100%.
And then but I think there's still a place for both of the leagues to play. But I just like the USFL just by watching this past weekend.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I thought it was more of an exciting brand of football. And I do like some of the XFL rules.
I like that first down decision where they can go in and measure the ball. And the team got the first down.
Yeah, and I like the decision where you can go for it on fourth down, or if you in crucial situations and it's 4th and 15. Yeah. So you don't have to kick the ball, but it's a 4th and 15.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to. And somebody did. I think it was Arlington who got a first down on a 4th and 15.
Yeah.
So.
And the XFL, they trying these helmets and they're trying a lot of different updated gear.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so which is good. I think that's good to have it to where you keep a number of your injuries and things like that, and the quality of the field and stuff. All that counts, and I think that's good for football, for the game.
Yeah, it is. And I like both of them. I agree with you. I like the USFL better, but I like both of them. The reason is because they're experiment things that could be a positive for the NFL.
Yeah, and even without producer Mac, he is a lot of semi-pro football players, and so it's a lot of guys still love to play football.
Opportunity.
The age is 22 and 35.
Yeah, and then if you remember, this past week, a guy named Chris, I want to say it's White, he passed away. He played for the Bengals, and he was playing in the XFL.
Yeah.
He passed away this week at 31 years old. So
he was a young player, young man.
So you never know when it's your time, but unfortunately, he was young.
Yeah, I saw that.
He got the opportunity to play in the NFL, and then he got an opportunity to play, obviously, in the XFL.
So let me ask you a question. Are you going to be able to come to SMU next Saturday and help us with the fire truck pull?
Yeah, I'll probably pull it myself.
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
I would say, you got all these muscles. I talked to Russell Merlin today, and he said that he got to go out of town, but his son going to be over there pulling. So I said I get a chance to see meet his son. But
I know, I've known RJ since he was a little kid.
Yeah, so you need to come on over there and be a captain with me.
Okay.
Because I know you can holler and scream and stuff, and you still got those big old muscles.
Yeah,
I saw you trying.
I'm back. Oh.
But you know what, Jim?
What?
Pulling the fire truck and hitting the golf ball. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, that's true. I can hit the golf ball. I'm just that good. I'm just that athletically gifted.
Well, maybe Jackson can come out and meet us.
Maybe Jackson. Yeah, Jackson could do it.
Yeah.
But it's that time. And we got to get
I'm doing my Miami dance.
I get my waddle. I get my waddle. But it's been great as always. We got to move on. Tell the guys, tell your grandchildren I want to find out when their game's in, because I'm definitely coming. I got to see the big ballers.
Yeah, we're going to send you an invitation up here in Frisco.
Yeah. There you go. And I'm sure they killing it. So
hey, one of the coaches said, I told the coach I was linking Pawpaw. He said, "You look too young to be a pawpaw."
Oh God, he lied to you. Hey, you have a great rest of the weekend. It's Hump Day. Let's get it going. Hey, great to have you, Craig, Jason. Thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Bye.